Alrighty, so back out. I just stopped by my buddy's house and he gave me an extra lens that he had for the front indicator over here. For a while I was riding without it. I sent the two LEDs back to Custom Dynamics because I was having a problem with some of the LEDs not working. This is my third set of these LEDs, so they sent me back the new pair, and it should be pretty good now. When I got up here up by him, he's about 30-40 minutes north of me. I was like, shoot, it's freaking cold through here. Up here is a little bit colder than where I am, and he's only like 35 minutes away. It's not really that far, but it's just that much colder for some reason. And I was like, man, I put my gloves on the motor to warm up, and the heated grips are still going. I wasn't really going much above 40, so that kind of keeps the wind somewhat not so harsh, but still got that little bit of cold factor. It's not bad. It's probably about 40 degrees right now, I think. Somewhere around there, I don't even know. There's a beautiful area that he lives in up here. Up here is really nice. I would have liked to venture a little further north, but I'm gonna go home and start dinner. And besides, going a little further north is probably just that much colder, and it's really not anything I feel like venturing in or venturing to. So not right now. I don't have the chaps for these crash bars. I need to see if I could find some, because if I could find some, that would really help. That would really help during the winter, and keep your feet a little more comfortable. But the chaps kind of, your toes, I should say, the chaps, they pretty much work hand in hand. What is it, 45? It's going to be up to 50. The chaps, they work hand in hand with a fairing and fork lowers. So if you have a fairing and you have the fork lowers and you have the chaps, you're pretty much good to go. You can ride 38, 39 degrees, 40, whatever, if that's your thing. It's not really my thing, 39, 40 degree riding. But I'm just saying that you can do it. We've had a cold spell here in New York for the last couple days, and man, I'm down to the last bag of pellets. Man, I bought 3 tons of pellets. If you guys remember, I posted that on Instagram. I bought 3 tons of pellets and 50 bags to a ton, and that's basically what we use for heat in the house. It does a good job. Heat's pretty good. I can't complain. Yeah, some of you may know before that we used wood, and that was pretty good. With using wood, that was nice. The only thing with the wood was time. I have to have the time to get out there and hunt for the wood and all that other stuff. Split it, chop it. And I was doing that for a little while, but after a while, it just got to be maybe just a little too much, and I just decided I would want to go another route. At which point my neighbor introduced me to the pellet stove, and man, that's really been a joy using that. So know, as for if it's more efficient than buying oil, well, I don't know. It's a good question. I think there's a possibility that it is. And there's also a possibility that it's not. So, oh wait, I gotta go down here. Yeah, so there's a possibility that it is, and there's also a possibility that it's not. So, maybe it depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? Shoot, I think I turned down the right road. Yeah, I remember that wood, I think. Or did I turn on the right road? Shoot. No, I don't think I did. I think I turned down the wrong road. But, should be alright. So, yeah. Those beautiful views over there. Look at that, those piles of firewood. Man, he's ready. Yeah, you gotta, you know, you gotta be ready. You know, if you want to be a homeowner, you gotta be ready. It's a lot different from many other experiences, so you always have to kind of prepare yourself any which way that you can. None of this look familiar. Let's go here. That was a road we were just on, so we'll go down that road for a little bit. I know I could do the navigation on the phone. I do have Waze running, but I'm not really using it. Kind of just rolling along right now. So not like my kids are in a rush to eat. Oh man, yeah, they love to eat, right? Part of being a kid. Dinner ready? What's for dinner? What's for breakfast? What's for lunch? Oh man, you know, you gotta love it, man. You just gotta love it. Really gotta love it. Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be in the 60s, so I don't know, man. This weather's kind of here and there. It's just kind of all over the place, so I don't really know. I don't know where it is that it wants to go or where it wants to be. Who knows? It's nuts. You know, you try to make the best of it and understand what the heck is going on with it, but none of it makes any sense. I'm gonna go home and take me a hot shower. I got the Tourmaster jacket on. This thing is about maybe 4 years old, maybe 5. I think about 5 years. I had it before I had the Vstar, so maybe it might be about 6 years old. Very well could be. Crack in the road there. Yeah, very well be. Maybe 6 years old. But it's nice because it's windproof, and if you want to, you can wear the liner, but I rarely ever do. I got a Cycle Gear freeze out shirt on, so usually I'll just use that. Oh my god. So yeah, usually I just use the Cycle Gear freeze out, and that kind of does the job pretty good. I can't complain. So alright, I think I gotta make a left, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, YouTubians. Just a little bit there, wasn't really sure where the heck I was, but with a short check of the Waze map, figured it out. We're back on our way. So if you want to, you can take this road down 209 a little bit further, and it will take you up to the other side of the mountain, which has some nice views too. See, over here it's not so bad, you know, but back there it was freaking cold. A little further back, and I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, yeah, you know, over here we're kind of in a valley. And I was like, dude, it's freaking cold over here. I was like, holy crap. I don't know what it was, man. I started riding through there, and the freaking temperature just dropped. It's weird. But over here, you know, over here it's not too bad. You know, you get over here, it just feels warmer. You can feel it. So, man, whew. Usually with the fairing anyway, a lot of that stuff doesn't bother me, just because it just wraps around you. Shoot, even I noticed with the fairing, I noticed I would wear a little bit less clothes also. Because you're behind and in that pocket, so there's a lot that you're really just not feeling. That you know, you get on a naked bike or even a bike with a windshield, and you're feeling that. So there's a difference there. So yeah, but glad to have you guys along for the ride. So what are you guys doing to stay busy? I know there's a lot of people that are on a lockdown and they don't want to let you out. They're, you know, they're saying that you can't even ride the motorcycle, and I'm like, but what the heck? You can't ride a motorcycle? Why not? You know, I mean, the recreational vehicle should be something that you should be able to get out in, especially if and as long as you're not up in anybody's face, social distancing as they call it. You know, if you're just out on a motorcycle and you're just riding, you're just going for a little ride, you know, that should be allowed. Or if you have a slingshot, let's say, you know, that should be allowed. You know, you should be able to get out and just take a nice cruise on a bike like that, or a car like that. Because it helps keep your sanity, man. There's only but so much you could do in a house, and some people don't have a house. Maybe they have an apartment. You know, come on, man. How much can you do in there? So you can let people get out on a motorcycle, get out on a bike, and just kind of explore a little, see a little. Why not, right? I mean, who can that really hurt? Who can that bother? I can understand if, you know, as long as most people understand and know, like, all right, well, listen, you know, if you're out on your recreational vehicle on land, you just have to understand that, you know, if you're stopping for gas, that's understandable, but restaurants and such aren't going to be open in such an area, such area. So, very small rule, okay, but still, you should be able to allow vehicles to get out and cruise, right? I don't think that's really too much to ask. I think maybe that's just a little bit too much. Like Bodine was saying, you know, they said, oh no, Michigan, they're like, oh, you can't ride the motorcycle. So I'm like, what? You can't ride? That's ridiculous. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, I guess I would just sit home and watch kayak fishing videos. Don't ask. Or Natural Geographic videos, you know. But yeah, I hope in a lot of areas they relax on those restrictions soon and give a little bit of leeway, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people that they really do deserve that. They could really just use a little leeway, at least something. Give them a little bit of a break, you know. Here in New York, they really have been doing, the restrictions aren't very heavy, but it's mainly essential transportation. And as long as you are practicing the social distancing, it's really not an issue if you were to get out onto your motorcycle or whatever similar. They just want you to practice the social distancing. So again, like I said, you know, I don't think it's really anything that's that hard to practice or follow or abide, whatever the heck you want to call it. But I just hope they ease up on it soon, you know, because people need to, especially guys like me and a lot of us other vloggers out there, we just need to get out and go for a ride. You know what I mean? You're trapped in the house all day. Need to see somewhere. I was in quarantine for 14 days. Man, I tell you, that's rough. You know, not being around your family. You could hear them, they're outside, but the door's closed, man, and you just want to hang out with them a little bit and spend some time with them, but you can't even do that. You know, you spend all your time at work and all your time there, and a little bit of time that you finally you can't be home. Unfortunately, you're sick and you can't even stick your head out the window. You get the head out the window, but the head out the door or nothing. So that sucked, man. But you know, if you're not on quarantine and you just gotta be home, I know it's tough if it's only that apartment that you have, so you know, you gotta have some means of keeping or staying busy, which, shoot, that's not easy in itself, right? I mean, there's only but so much we can do. We have to find something. It snowed through here, man, last night. I was driving home last night and I was like, what the heck? It was snowing. Didn't really stick to the road though, so, you know, that's a good thing. The main area where it stuck was like off in the dirt and grass in those areas. That's kind of where it stuck. I still use caution when riding through here, and it's like a little wet in these areas. You know, you try to plan on being in the dry, because the wet, you know, it can be a little iffy. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful. But you know, it's doable. You can still ride it, but just you know, kind of look ahead and plan ahead and see the dry line, and just plan to kind of stay in the dry line. You know what I mean? Like, just in case, you know. And if you can, you minimize your leaning a little bit going in, and you just take your time, you know. So yeah, that's kind of my theory. I just take it easy and take my time. Through here dried out a lot more than when I came through here, so right now, as you can see, it's actually pretty nice. And we're just cruising through. Put my backrest back a little bit so I can kind of just lean back a little, and that will help me let the wind kind of just swoosh off of my back and go over behind me. So you're kind of sitting back at a little bit of an angle, if you know what I mean. You know, you kind of, it's a little different than what I'm used to, you know, because usually I would sit up some, but I had to modify things a little bit, right? You got to think a little bit outside the box, you know. No fairing, right? Yeah. No fairing, guys.